is Warriors Anonymous.
Victorious. We are Warriors. Yes, this is Warriors Anonymous, bringing you Warriors content, brought to you by a bunch of nobodies, really. Check out warriorsanonymous.co.nz to get your merch from us, and get it delivered to your door and look sharp and all of the good things. Now, boys, we've got Isaac and Moneta, the Sauce boys, in attendance this evening with myself. We're going to wrap up the Titans game, going to preview the Dolphins game, and talk about a couple of pressing issues as well. Starting with the first one. Hard on now, boys. A late change was made to our starting lineup just before kickoff on Saturday, and that was Chance Nickel-Klukstad coming in for Tane Tuopiki. So Chance went into the fullback spot. Tane dropped out. Put it to you. Hard on now. Was it the right call to have Chance at fullback? Let's start with you, Isaac.
No. I mean, Tane did enough to keep that spot. Chance was just coming back from, injury or whatever. Tane should have got first crack, Tane should be able to maintain that jersey, keep it as his own until something happens or he loses form and CNK jumps back in. As much as I love him, the man can do no wrong, but Tane's doing more right than he is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. He's hearty, old Chance, very hearty. And I think that's why a lot of people get very defensive about it, and they're like, "Oh, you're hating on Chance, or we're all those Chance haters, all that sort of stuff." And it's like, well, I think it's more to do with people are either one side of the fence or the other, right? You're either cheering for Tane or you're cheering for Chance, believing in them. Moneta, what's your take, bro? Hard or nah? Was Chance the right call at the back?
I'd say nah, based on form. Tuopiki was like Isaac said, he didn't put a step wrong. So I would have thought just kept it in, winning formula the week before with against Melbourne. So I was surprised to see him in, to be honest. Yeah.
Yep, I'll definitely back that as well. I'll go nah. That's 3 nahs. Nah. Yeah, I would much prefer. I've been looking at the stats as well just recently because I was talking to the wife about it, and she was like, well, there's a chance in there because he gets, better meterage. Now I looked at his stats, and they were actually lower per game than Tane's, albeit that he had 2 games in the centres as well. So, it's kind of funny, like the myths and how things actually stack up. But we've got a bit of a pressing issue, boys. And I think a couple of weeks ago, we saw our man Cam George, the CEO, love him, getting amongst it and doing the mana wave to the Canberra Raiders fellas, and it was a little bit of a sort of dodgy technique that he was doing on that. But, at the time, we kind of let him off. It was a free swing. It was a good win against Canberra. We were all excited. It was like, all good. However, on the weekend against the Titans, we won again. And again, Cam gets out there. And I guess there's a technique issue there. Because what Cam's putting out is, it's, it kind of gives you sort of like Berlin 1939 vibes, shall we say?
Yeah, of an Austrian painter back in the day.
That's exactly it. So
it's giving me more of a kid in standard 4 putting their hand up to answer a question on the blackboard. Just
that's
like,
good. Yep.
It reminds me of Elon Musk at that time.
And that's not a good parallel.
I know what he's trying to do the mana wave and that, and get amongst it, being hearty himself. But I guess, boys, we need to break it down. You guys might have a bit more of an insight because, to be honest, the mana wave wasn't even really around when I was still living in New Zealand, so I only kind of caught up with it a couple of years ago. But forgive me if I'm wrong. The technique is. It's not the straight up sort of arm, answering a question to the teacher. It's there's a little bit of a kick in the wrist. Is that right? You got to
yeah. The fingers,
right.
like it's not up.
Yeah,
it's not from the chest
it's not
there.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not
from
it's
there.
not here. It's
The week before was like, could give him away with it, but this one was straight.
Yeah. Yes. And it got captured quite clearly, and everyone was like, "Ooh."
And
And we're thinking, someone might need to have a word to Cam. And I'm not sure who will, because, if you're one of the
Yeah.
players, it's like, oh, yeah, cool.
You can
Cam,
you can imagine just
you need to work on your mana wave. And Cam's like, yeah, cool,
yeah.
bro. We just traded your ass to the fucking Dragons. Like,
You can just imagine, hey, I checked this game out, man. This is awesome, man. These are some of us. This is our CEO. Check it out. You've never seen this game before. Check it out. He's a real good guy.
yeah, he's on the Bears and he's going, yeah. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a, I guess, yeah, a technique for him to work on, get a little bit of the old morally on it.
Yeah.
But
Get a bit of spin, bit of, leg off.
Yeah.
Off.
He is allowed to
off.
have some level of degrees of bend in the arm, It doesn't have to be.
Yes, yeah. I mean, maybe it's a medical thing. Maybe Cam can't actually kick
maybe
the wrist.
Can't actually bend.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Might be.
We might need to investigate that further. But I'm sure someone
biomechanical analysis on the arm.
ESPN
Great to
Sports
see
Science.
you though, Cam. Great to see you though, Cam, on the ground. But yeah, it's all good.
Absolutely.
He does need to go. He does need to go to mana school. So yeah, put your hand up there. Answer some questions.
That's
Why is
right.
your mana wave so bad?
Ask me anything. I have a question.
Yeah, the video, it was like, ooh.
Oh, poor old Cam. It's all good. Also, Richie Morgan from Warrior Nation was over on the ground as well, being treated by the local hospitality, and just you can hear him beating the drum with the gang and that, and having a great old time. So that was awesome to see. I'm not sure if I need to check in with him, see if he's going to the Welly game, because that's going to be a cracker coming up. But before we get into that, let's have a little chat around the game. It was a split personality type match. The first half and the second half were vastly different. Isaac, what did you make of how dominant we were, and then what sort of happened after halftime?
Yeah, we were dominant for a prolonged period of time, and we just took the foot off the gas. Basically, we were so far ahead. We sort of slipped back into second gear, which I didn't like. I did not like that at all. After you've come from a game like Melbourne, where you're completely dominant, arguably for, the second half, most of that game, especially going into the back end of that game against Melbourne, and you're just completely dominant. You're making a statement. Perfect opportunity to make a statement again. Obviously, pooch the ball, I think, in that second half. It would have been nice to see a more dominant display, but we got the 2 points. But yeah, after all the times of the Titans have made us look like fools, you think it would have been nice if we really just stuck it to them. That's what I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, and it looked like we were going to do it. Like in that first half, I was like, well, shit. Because to be honest, I was actually fearing a bit of a hangover from the Melbourne game, and the fact that we were so dominant. And it was quite an emotional sort of high that we hit. And even as a fan, I was still kind of gliding on that on the weekend and thinking to myself, like, if we lose to the Titans, I could actually forgive them this week because of the joy that they'd brought the previous week. But it was almost like Moneta, we were backing it up. We got to half time, and then we did run into that hangover. It was like a mid-afternoon creeper hangover that sort of snuck up on you and just tapped you on the shoulder.
Yeah. It was definitely. Yep, I know that feeling. To give credit to Titans, they have actually looked pretty good. I've watched a lot of their games. Like you, Jared, I was a bit nervous with the Titans coming in, because I thought watching them, I've seen them play the Broncos and then obviously the Eels last week, they did look like a pretty good unit and could score from anywhere, and they've got really quick backs. But yeah, you just thought from the first half they looked quite clinical. They could continue playing, applying that pressure. Yeah, but I'm not too disappointed, if I'm being honest. I know it was a game of two halves. Titans are a pretty good team. I expect them to win a few games. They'll do a few upsets this year, Titans, and I'm pretty sure Warriors won't be too happy with themselves too. But I'm sure they'll rectify it. So I'm not too worried if I'm being honest.
It's a good result in terms of our own complacency, right?
Yeah.
We got the job done, which is great. Take the 2, but we're not exactly overjoyed or happy about it, I would say. But
it still puts the pressure on us to work on things, right? Like we're not complacent, which is
we're
like
not all flying high and thinking everything's great like we were last week, kind of thing. Also, a good result in the fact that it was the first time we'd beaten the Titans in Auckland since 2019. That was Chanel Harris-Tevita's bloody debut. Was the last time we'd beaten them in Auckland.
Oh man, crazy!
Mad, that's mad, right? So,
far out.
But this is where the Warriors are playing chess, not checkers, right? Warriors understand we have a bad record against the Titans. So what do? We go out and we just steadily start plucking a few of the Titans away and bring them over to our team. And then all of a sudden, they can't beat us with those people anymore because we got them. So, and one of those guys, well, actually, before we even get into it, one of those guys, Aaron Clark, just got re-signed until 2029. Yeehaw, that's an absolute no-brainer, right? Like that was always going to happen. His value is probably just skyrocketed as well, and rightfully so. But great to see him get re-signed. But also Khan Pereira out there on the wing. Got a couple of tries against his old team. He would have absolutely loved that. But Isaac, what did you make of his performance and what he's brought in the 2 games so far?
I think it's just the threat of speed. Like everyone around the league knows how fast he is, and it's not that he's just fast. He's a pretty professional finisher. Just like DWZ. Just consummate professional when it comes to finishing off tries, and he's in that sort of vein too. He's just got that extra little bit of cut and thrust to his game with his speed, and with his speed as well. In his head-ups, he can carry it a little bit harder than most people think because he's got speed he can rely on to generate a bit of force. And I think he's just loving being part of the environment. I think you can see it in his in the vibe that he's given off, that he's loving being a part of this Warriors team, and I think he feels really appreciated and welcomed. And he's just loving his footy. I know it's a very, again, small sample size, it's 2 weeks, but I think you could say he's a lock for that other wing position, which is, again, embarrassment of riches. We're having to play this sort of juggling act of where do we fit players in,
Yeah, dead right. And if Khan Pereira does stay on that wing, the text messages coming in thick and fast here on the Warriors Anonymous hotline. If Khan Pereira does stay on that wing, what are we looking at in terms of our centres, Monitor? Are we going to keep Roger in the centre spot out there and Ali on the other side? Because we do have Pompey coming back this week.
I would personally keep what we've had in the last 2 games. It's a winning formula. I mean, like I said before, we've seen a bit of a renaissance from, RTS in terms of the centre. He looks like he's comfortable there. I know we kind of were saying 2 years ago that he didn't look so comfortable, but maybe the change in halves has created that, him to create better play within the centre position. And Ali Latawa, I mean, since he's been back, he's been awesome. He made a few breakaways too. He broke the line a few times, and he's chasing that high ball. He's contesting the high ball. He's just and I just hope they don't change it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did change, because I think Webster is a bit of a loyalist to some people.
He's kind of
not saying it's a bad thing.
He's in the same vein of player as CNK. Like, as soon as he's back, like, Webster can't bring him in quick enough, which is fair enough because Pompey doesn't do much wrong. It's arguably, one of our top players in terms of consistency. So he's kind of got that label of CNK about him. Like, as soon as he's ready to get back in the team, let's just chuck him back in the team. So that's the problem that we have.
Yeah.
Like, as much as like the likes of Tain Tuapiki or Leotawa can play well, as soon as Pompey or CNK is ready to go, they just jump back straight in the team.
I would be surprised if they kicked Ali Leotawa for Pompey, because he's been playing brilliantly. And all the games that he's played, they've won. Yeah.
Just laughing at you calling him Pompey. Anyways,
Sorry. Where did I get that from?
So Isaac, you're predicting. Let's have a look, I guess, at what Webby will do for this coming game against the Dolphins. Are you thinking that he will keep or bring in Pompey? And
Sorry,
who do you think will jump out?
I reckon Leotard would jump out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Leotard would jump out. It's awesome that he's been playing well. Take that form into New South Wales Cup and just dominate there. And just bide your time, just like all the other players have had to do. You know, the likes of your Tanner Boyds and whatnot. They bid their time in the low grade, get some, sparkling form, and when you're needed, you'll be called upon. It sucks as much as it sucks to say that. That's how I think it'll play out.
What's your guys' take on the new recruit who's coming in the Mitch Barnett trade? We're getting Grant Anderson, second round pick, and a whole bunch of cap space. But let's go with you, Isaac, bro. You got a big opinion on it. What do you think about it?
I don't fucking get it. I mean, obviously in Webster we trust, but haven't we got so much cover and so much talent? Is this leading into something? Are we letting go of somebody somewhere down the track? Or, is it like the likes of a Rocco Berry? Is his career over? I mean, it just smacks of something going on in the background. I know RTS is leaving, but even with RTS gone, we've got a shitload of depth in the sort of center position. I would have thought, we've got a lot of talent coming through. So to bring in a guy like Grant Anderson, who, he's talented, but he hasn't really done much in this league, from what I can see. He's always been like a reasonably threatening player when he's on the park, but he's jumped from the Storm to the Broncos to us. Like, I don't get it. And with Barnett as well, couldn't we have commanded something a little bit more of equal value than Grant Anderson? Yeah, I don't understand.
Though remember at the same time we were talking about Barnett in the same vein. I remember, we couldn't quite understand why Barnett came. And then Jackson Ford was kind of in a similar position, right? He came from St. George and not many people knew about him. Now he's like leading Daily M. Maybe there's something in Robinson that they see,
Anderson.
Anderson, sorry. I'm getting my names wrong now.
Bye.
Robinson. Grant Robinson, our finance MP back in the day. But so to me, that there's maybe something that he sees in them. Webster has shown a track record of bringing in players who are a bit of they're okay, but then now becoming really lost. Aaron Clark, another example. He came from Titans, and now he's like, whoa, Tanner Boyd, another prime example.
Exactly.
So he must look for certain qualities in a player rather than just the
maybe
superstar.
Players that fit the system.
Yeah.
The way
it's more, because he's been able to turn like rocks into gems. So yeah.
I tell you what, the way you guys have just summed that up, both of your spiels, perfectly sums up exactly where I'm at with this acquisition, because like I understand the side of like, well, we've got guys coming through and what's up with that, and then on the other side it's like, well, Webby's had a good record of making people into absolute guns, and yeah, I literally feel the same as I did when we recruited Tanner Boyd. So it's gone pretty well, I guess. So we'll just have to see, where that sort of tracks. But I honestly never thought we'd even get anything from the Broncos. I thought they'd be like, well, Barnett's decided to sign with us. You can go and jump. But anyways, I'm just kind of taking that glass half full as well. But boys, there's one guy who's not signed beyond this year, and he may well be kicking down the door at the moment to getting re-signed or extended, because everyone's talking him up, and rightfully so. And that is our man, Chanel Harris-Tevita. Isaac, man, what have you seen from Chanel, especially in the last couple of games when he's come back from his injury?
Maturity. He I think he understands his role. I think he's comfortable in his own skin. I mean, he's been around the league for a while now. When you said he started in 2019 against the Titans, so he's been around for 7 years now. But it took him a while to find his feet in first grade. I think he's found his happy place in the top grade. He knows what he wants to do. He executes well. He works within the team. Everybody loves him. He's got a good head on his shoulders. I would throw some money at him. Why do all the hard work to bring a player along like that to let him go? Keep him on, But if he wanted to move on from the club and seek out new experiences, because we know what kind of person he is as well. He's like a man of the world. All you do is wish him the best. But I'd love to keep him with the club.
Yeah, because at the start of the year, from what I understand, he was actually given sort of low key given permission. If he could find an immediate deal elsewhere, then they would be okay to let him go. But yeah, it's now at an interesting sort of spot where it's like, wow, a lot of people are saying, and I would add to that as well, I don't think you can leave him out because he's got that sort of, he's a Tom Dearden kind of player for me. If he runs the ball, he's bloody tough. Man, that try he got against the Titans, that was ridiculous. Never even realized it was a try until, very late in the piece where you just saw the ball just go boop on the ground. It was like, oh shit. But yeah, he's a guy who I like what he does as well with the guys around him, because I think he was off the field as well for the last 7 minutes.
Yeah,
I noticed we conceded a good sort of couple of tries in that time as well. So I tend to think that there may be some relation, to what was happening there. But now what do we got? So Pompey's back from suspension. We're not sure about Tanner Smith. He's been bloody absolutely killing it as well. Jeez, with this team, like everyone who's putting on the jersey is ripping in and doing a great job, making it really hard for selection headaches for Webby. So that'll be interesting to just keep an eye on as to how that goes. But Barnett came back as well and put in a pretty decent shift, which was nice to see. Isaac, what do you reckon from his impacts coming back?
He's just like, as soon as he's available, you chuck him in the team. Again, it's like, the CNK Adam Pompey argument, whatever. He's just that kind of player that as soon as he even gets a sniff of being available, you just chuck him in there and he does a job. It's just hard with this team. We've just got so much talent and so much upside in so many of our players that it's hard to leave people out. But then you can't leave out a guy like Barnett either, with everything that he brings to the team, his leadership, his carries, his toughness, mentality. But then you've got so many other players like, I love TSS. I love Tanner Smith at the moment. I reckon he's the way of the future. I mean, you got the other young bucks like Dimitrik and Halasima, but he is a future leader of this club, I reckon. But he gets to learn from a guy like Barnett. What more could you want?
Oh, you did right. And Barnett's a pretty handy guy to have on the bench behind Jackson Ford now, isn't it? So...
Shit, yes, yeah.
The defense as well. I'll get your boys' thoughts on this, because the defense, by and large, except for that, say, last quarter of the game, the defense for the past couple of matches has actually been pretty rock solid. And I'll ask you, Monita, about it, because I'm wondering if the fact that, because we do have Jackson Ford in the middle, and he's got a bloody engine on him, and he just ends up covering a big bloody radius across the field. I wonder if that is helping us, cover the ground a bit easier than what we have in the past.
Yeah, it's a bit like Captain America. He just keeps on going.
I could do this all day.
Yeah, I could do this all day.
That's Aotearoa's ass.
Yeah. Yes, that's my ass. Ass. Yeah. I mean, that it leaves interchange, a bit more. We can use more of our interchange, so to speak. Put on more fresh players, because we have one person, a middle that can play 80 minutes, and that's kind of unheard of in our era. in our era, especially with the way the game's been played. You know, it's much quicker, and so to have someone like Jackson Ford, it gives us a bit more, be able to put more fresh players on the field, I guess. But and I want to add to that also CHT in terms of his defense. You know, maybe he just adds a bit of mongrel, and I think maybe organisation in terms of the line defense to the team, and yeah, I think that adds a bit to it too. But it's been great to see that we've got a bit of mongrel in terms of our defense. It's great to watch that we're not just tackling, but we're at times pummeling them in the tackle, and yeah, and I can't go with, like CHT makes at least one bloody tackle that just bloody rattles their bones and stuff like that. It's just every like one game. So yeah, it's great to see actually. But the best defense I've seen was against the Melbourne Storm. I still can't forget that. That was just man.
Tops.
RTS finger and not in my watch.
No, honey.
I think on the discussion of defense as well, on the other side of the ruck with Tanner Boyd, yeah, he may not be pulling off the bone rattlers that CHT does, but he doesn't shirk from his responsibilities on defense as well. Like he might get bumped off here and there, but he's initiating contact and he's at least slowing the player down on defense. Like he's making an effort and giving an opportunity for other people to complete the tackle. So I think both sides of the field, defense seems a lot better when CHT and Tanner are on. I mean, it was only a couple of games with Metcalf, but there just seemed to be cracks in the defense when he was on playing on one side of the field. At the moment, it just seems really settled, really organized, and really committed. So that's a shout out for Tanner and his defense. It's probably a bit of a sleeper right there, something that doesn't get noticed enough.
Yeah, that's a good call. Very good call. Now, of course, we've got another tricky game coming up against the Dolphins. And it's a funny one because, it's another team that we've had sort of, close battles against them. Of course, last year they nudged us right on the buzzer. But it's also a bit of it's an away game for the Dolphins, but also slightly away for the Warriors as well, because they're going to be going to Henry Stadium. That's name.
Yeah.
Henry Stadium in Wellies. But in terms of the bigger picture, Isaac, obviously it's been a fairly, I guess it's a fairly grim couple of years in the nation's capital in terms of economic downturn and bike lanes. At the moment you got the weather going on and what will the fact that there'll be a full cake tin full of people, what do you think that will do for the people of Welly?
Well, yeah, Wellingtonians need a bit of a hug, to be honest. We really do. And if the Warriors are the ones that want to come down to Wellington and give the Wellington region a big hug and something to be excited about, happy for it. I mean, there's a lot of people I know going. My boss has got 40 of his crew going to the game. And you'll love to hear that, Let's just get as many people as we can, sell the place out, get on the Terps, have a good time. Fans, bring your family along, bring your kids, support the Wires, get a win. So great for the Wellington region because we just fucking need some love here. We're just getting absolutely battered. The best way to show us some love, though, is if the Warriors win and the Dolphins are, again, kind of a bogey team for us. But their chief tormentor, old Cody Nikarima, the sleeper cell, is not playing. So I'm happy about that because for some fucking reason, whenever he plays us, he seems to turn into Andrew Johns.
Yes, one of those players. Gosh, we've had a few of those over the years, haven't we? In terms of game picks, we have gone across the board in favour of the Warriors. We haven't done that since last time we did that was in the lead up to the Tigers game, which we lost. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Monena, what are you thinking, bro, in terms of how will this game? Well, first of all, in terms of the weather, what's going to be? What are the conditions going to be like for Saturday?
Well, it's predicted to be sunny and dry. I'm hoping all the shit weather happens now, get it out of the way, and by the weekend it won't be as it'll be a bit more sunnier. It will be sunny actually. It's not sunny at all.
16 degrees, sunny.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's
Northerly
okay.
winds, perfect conditions.
Yeah.
Get the
And
swirl
they're playing
going.
at 8 o'clock. Yeah, they're playing at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Think so.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
8 o'clock. Yeah, all right. But yeah, so I'm expecting, if that's the case, a fast game. The Dolphins like to play expansive footy. I'm a bit like, I think they've got a good centre in Herbie Farnsworth. He's really good.
Andy?
And then they've got like, yeah.
Hammer.
Yeah, the hammer at the back. Yeah, so
Cobbo.
they've got some quality players in Katoa. I think in the halves he's pretty good too. So that's what I was
Pretty good.
predicting. Yeah.
I like
That's what
how
I was
you're
predicting.
underselling this Dolphins team. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, that's the Kiwi mentality, right? Oh, how'd he go? $1 million. Yeah, pretty good.
All right. Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's why I predicted that we would win this by 10s. Yeah, so I think the Warriors will just be sticking to the game plan that they've been doing the last 2 games. Yeah, but I'm still a bit nervous. Dolphins do make me nervous.
And
The
rightfully
same way
so.
yeah.
Rightfully so. They just gave Penrith all that they could handle last week. So it's a formidable opponent, and they've got, again, a la the Titans, they've got strike across the park. One thing I actually liked about the game against the Titans, the most part anyway, was the fact that we really nullified Kinney and Jaden Campbell. Like, none of these guys really ripped us to shreds or even looked like it for most of the time, which was heartening. But Isaac, what are your keys to victory, bro, on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think their backs are a major factor in the game, but I'm going to go for their second rows and Funifuaki. Did I say that right? And Lemuelu. They are tough to handle. They are playing career best footy at the moment. I think especially Funifuaki in terms of yardage and meters. And they're pretty good ball handlers as well. Like, they've got a little bit of talent with the ball in hand, and I think they'll be a bit of a threat too. I think with Nikorima out, they might get a little bit more ball and start to threaten our edges, and might start running a little bit more at our halves, and maybe change a game plan, tie the halves out by running their big boys at them, take them out of the picture, and affect our attack on that side of things, and that will maybe break things up for their backs as well. So I think you'll see their second rows get a lot of ball. And it'll be interesting to see who they put in the 6th jersey as well. I think they've got a live wire Trey Fuller, who arguably could play number 1 in any other NRL team, except you've got the hammer there. Maybe they might be experimenting with him at 6 as well. So, yeah, they might have a bit of an interesting game plan against us, so I'd be wary of that.
The wild card. It could be something that we will have essentially not much of a chance to prepare for, because they never would have done it before. So yeah, boys, any last requests? Any last points before we bounce on out?
I just hope Cameron George has been practicing his minor wave just a bit more. Yeah.
What if he gets it completely wrong and like goes the other direction? It's just like, what if he goes?
He starts voguing.
Voguing.
Yeah.
Or he goes to do it, and then like a moth goes on like his upper lip, and he's like trying to like get it off. It's like no.
Yeah.
Just like flies by in the still.
Yeah. Oh dear, too much fun. Now, warriorsanonymous.co.nz, get all your Warriors Anonymous merch. If you want to contribute as well, feel free to become a member on our YouTube channel, because it'd be a great way to help us out, because we still seem to have an ability to shun sponsors around the place, which is nice. But yeah, shout out to our man Jacko here as well. He's always watching, and he's one of our members, and gets involved with the comments and talks a lot of sense too, which is kind of strange for our channel, really. But thank you to Jacko and all of our members for the support. And we'll catch you next week. Until then, up the wires. Go the Warriors!
Up the wires!
La cucaracha, la cucaracha. ya no puede caminar.